Today, December 9th, is the feast day of Saint Juan Diego. Now, probably most people would only recognize that name because of the fact that, well, he saw the Blessed Virgin Mary. Beginning this day, December 9th, in the year 1531, Mexico City, near the hill of Tepeyac, the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to Saint Juan Diego and would go on to reveal herself as Our Lady of Guadalupe. And as they say, the rest is history. It wasn't actually until the 1970s that devotion to Juan Diego led to his cause for canonization, and eventually in 2002, Pope St. John Paul II canonized him as an official saint of the Catholic Church and gave him this day as his feast day on the calendar. Now, he is not a saint simply because he saw the Blessed Virgin Mary. That's a miraculous and amazing thing to have happened, but it's not just automatic that just because you have a special vision that you would become a saint. Now, it is true that in the case of like Saint Bernadette at Lourdes and the three little children at Fatima, they are in fact saints in the church. But it's not because of what happened to them that anyone becomes a saint. Rather, it's what they did, that they lived a life of heroic virtue, witnessing to the truths of our faith. You would think that seeing the Blessed Virgin Mary would convert you if you weren't already converted. But look at the story of, for instance, Our Lady of La Salette in France. Not as well known, but those visionaries did not go on to become saints or even live lives all that heroic. So, what is it about Juan Diego that makes him a saint? Well, it actually starts before he ever met Our Lady at Guadalupe. St. Juan Diego was converted by some of the earliest Franciscan missionaries that arrived in Mexico. He and his wife, Maria Lucia, became baptized Catholics at the earliest conversions in Mexico. And he was living his life in a good way with his Christian beliefs long before Mary appeared. In fact, when Mary does show up, what is Juan Diego doing? Well, he had the habit of going every day on his way to work to the Franciscan mission to pray. And so he was on his way to the mission to go pray when Our Lady stopped him and gave him that great mission to go to the bishop and ask him to have a church built, and eventually gave him the roses and the tilma, and everything else is widely known as the great miracle of Our Lady of Guadalupe. But it started with no miracle at all, simply the normal everyday faithfulness of Juan Diego going to pray at the mission. And he did that day after day after day. He was not just accidentally in the right place at the right time. He was exactly where God wanted him to be and where Mary knew he would be. Do you have that kind of daily faithfulness that you just are doing what God wants you to do every day, even if it doesn't seem flashy or extraordinary? That was Juan Diego. In fact, his whole person is really not flashy or extraordinary. He was a peasant. He was not educated. He was not powerful. In fact, when Mary says, go to the bishop and ask him to build a church, well, Juan Diego, in his humility, he goes and then comes back reporting, as would be expected, the bishop didn't listen to me, Mother Mary. I'm not important. I'm just a peasant. Well, God normally uses people like that. Certainly was the case of Bernadette or the Fatima children or even the children at La Salette. And it was true with Jesus. He liked to appear and present himself to, well, the poor, the humble, not the rich and powerful. Although Jesus was able to convert a lot of rich and powerful people too, it seems that the poor and the simple are more ripe fruit for the preaching of the gospel. So today we honor Saint Juan Diego, that first of all, he was doing what he was supposed to be doing, living a good Christian life. By the time of the vision of Guadalupe, his wife seems to have died, and he lived the rest of his life until he was 74 years old, living in a little hermitage at the base of the mountain, looking up to the shrine that Mary had asked him to have built, knowing that he had done that. But he lived his whole life, before and after, in union with God, accepting joyfully the preaching of those early Franciscan missionaries, and then after meeting our Blessed Mother, telling everyone about the truth of Jesus, her son, and the beautiful witness of Mary. When Mary showed up, she recognized that Juan Diego was just a little poor peasant. In fact, she called him Juanito, Juanito Dieguito. Literally, it means my little John. So today we're grateful for this little John, who, because he was little and humble, allowed God to do great things through him. May that be true of all of us as well. And God bless you.